Hello everyone. Today I'm recording from our kids' little playhouse fort thing. I'm not sure why I'm up here. I think I was just trying to get away from the dogs. But um, today I'm gonna address an issue that maybe might be relevant to some of you. I know it's gonna be relevant to me because long story short, we sold our travel trailer. We sold our Geo Pro. We love that trailer, but we had to sell it because it's only slept 4, and sometimes our nephew comes with us camping, so we needed to sleep 5. So we're trying to get something with a dinette and a slide. But right now, we were looking at a surveyor, but of course prices have gone haywire. It's what, mid-November right now, 2021, and hopefully things will fall between now and January. I guess we'll see. But what's happening here is that I'm running into a situation where I'm gonna have to buy a trailer out of state, but probably further than we did when we bought the GeoPro. The last time we bought the GeoPro, we bought it from a place called Sweetwater, Texas, and we drove over there in our car, in our tow vehicle, and then drove back. But I think this time around we're going to be in a situation where we need to actually fly out to wherever the trailer is and then rent a U-Haul truck and then drive it back. Now, two very important things about U-Haul. No, they're not even trucks; they're vans with boxes in the back. Two very important things, and I'm going to try to explain these things logically because I think I recorded a video the first time around that didn't make any sense. So I'm trying again. So two very important things about U-Haul trucks, or vans, I guess you can say, is that number one, they have welded trailer balls. And the trailer hitch ball is only a 2-inch diameter ball. And normally what you need for a travel trailer is a 2 5/16 inch ball. So that's one thing you need to contend with. And the other thing is that they do not, as far as I know, and as far as everyone that's done it knows, or has said, is that they don't have trailer brakes. They don't have a provision for trailer brakes within the cab, and you can't jerry rig one. So that's two things you have to contend with, and that's what we're going to address in this video. So the number one thing with the ball size, it's very easy. Actually, I bought this adapter on Amazon, and I don't remember right now what it's called, but basically it goes on top of the 2-inch ball, held together by magnets, and it converts it into a 2 5/16 inch ball. And I think that's rated for 6,000 pounds. So I mean, I don't know how many of you are going to be hauling travel trailers that are more than 6,000 pounds when you're going back home with one. I mean, even dry, I think you could even get a big travel trailer down to 6,000 pounds. So this solves that problem very easily. Just put it on the ball, and suddenly you have 2 5/16 inch, and you can hitch up. The other problem is a little more involved, and there's two solutions to it. One of them is obviously right here, which I'm going to discuss in a minute. It's not Plano. It's the thing that's under the Plano box. But there's two options. One of them is to buy a Kurt Echo. It's a trailer brake system that works off of your phone. I think you connect it to the 7-pin connector on your tow vehicle, and then you connect the travel trailer to it, and it sends signals to your phone, just telling you the status of it. But I think it works based on the brakes, on the brake light wire, and I guess it has an accelerometer too, I'm not sure, but it handles the brakes for you. That would have been the easiest solution. Instead, I decided to get really complicated and do this. But the reason I did this over the Kurt Echo is because the Kurt Echo relies on your phone to be able to manually set or manually engage the parking brake, or the trailer brakes, if you ever get into a situation where there's sway. And I've been reading from a lot of people saying that the Kurt Echo sometimes disconnects from the phone. So, I mean, how often do you get in that situation where you need to push the button to straighten the trailer out? I mean, not very often, but I just want to make sure that it's always there versus maybe or maybe not being there depending on whether the Bluetooth connection between the phone and the Kurt Echo is working. So I opted for the second option, which is to kind of create a piggyback harness that would, and I'll explain that in a minute, a piggyback harness that will allow me to be able to run this auto brake. And what's an auto brake? I'm sure a lot of you haven't heard of it, but the auto brake's a pretty cool invention. I had one in my our Geo Pro. If you remember the other, or if you've seen the other videos, you'll see that the tongue on the Geo Pro 16BH had a little orange box in the front. That little orange box housed the auto brake, and what the auto brake does, it's basically a trailer brake module that goes on the trailer itself. So your car, your tow vehicle, doesn't have to have any sort of trailer wiring or anything. Well, it needs to have either a 4-pin or a 7-pin connector at the very least, but it doesn't have to have any trailer brake wires running or anything like that. The auto brake has some accelerometers in it and some sort of intelligence module, artificial intelligence, not really artificial intelligence, but something along the lines, I guess, that can set the brakes modularly, or can modulate the brakes. So if you stomp on the brakes hard, the auto brake will engage the brakes pretty hard on the trailer. If you just are lightly stopping, it'll do the same. And it has different levels for different weights. But I mean, it's a pretty cool invention. It worked really well on when we were towing with our Highlander. I installed this system before we towed the Geo Pro back from Texas, and it worked awesome. We didn't get into a wreck or anything, so that's great. And I tested the manual engagement of the brakes, which is that key fob there. I had it on a piece of command strip tape and put it on the dash and was able to push the buttons at will, and it worked really well. And the cool thing again about the auto brake is that you can, if you have a 4-pin connector on your tow vehicle, you can run it. You just need to run a 7-pin adapter, obviously, for the trailer. And this needs to be wired in such a way that, here's the wiring, and here's the wires for the auto brake. It needs to be wired in such a way that the trailer brake power is hooked up to the lights, I guess trailer lights, the brown wire on the travel trailer. And what that'll do is it'll give you trailer brakes, but you just need to have your lights on. So, let me see, I kind of lost myself here. Okay, so the thing you have to do, obviously, with these U-Hauls, since they don't have brakes, is you need to provide some sort of braking system. And in our case, I decided to create this piggyback harness, and I used two things. I used a extension wire or extension cable that I had lying around, which again is just a male and female end for the trailer, trailer umbilical wire. And the other thing I got too was a distribution block. And what I did was I basically just I cut this in half. I cut the male and female ends off from each other on the trailer wire extension. And I'm going to put links to this on the description, so don't worry too much about trying to figure out where it is. That way I'll give you a good description of what these things are and about how much they'll cost. So I just basically spliced this in between, use ring terminals and crimp them there. And so, I just matched up the colors, and I hope that's brown and not black. Yeah, it's brown and not black, just a different color brown. And so that's all I did. I just joined them together. And what this does is it enables a location for you to be able to plug in the auto brake. Auto brake is here. Sorry, the sun's setting now. And so I just put ring terminals on wires coming out of the auto brake. And again, they're all the same colors. You just match the colors for colors, but definitely read the instruction manual. And again, just a disclaimer, I should have said this in the beginning, but you do this all at your own risk. I'm thinking it's a great idea to be able to solve this problem of towing with the U-Haul, but I mean, that's ultimately up to you. So, again, this junction box just provides you a way to be able to plug in the auto brake. And just match up the colors. And U-Hauls have 7-pin connector, so it's not a big deal. If you ever run into a situation where you have a 4, you just buy a 4 to 7 adapter and just jump the wires as the auto brake says in the instructions. I mean, it says somewhere here in the instructions what to do. Let's see. Well, we won't get into this right now, I guess. If you guys are interested, just let me know and I'll maybe show you more pages off of the instruction manual. But again, putting this together, you know, putting the cap on and, you know, bolting this to your A-frame will give you brakes. And your trailer will have trailer brakes, and you won't have to worry about modifying anything on the U-Haul because the trailer brakes will be self-contained on the trailer itself. And again, the connection between the auto brake and the wire is pretty, or I'm sorry, the controller is pretty constant. I've never run into an issue in the few months that I towed with it that the controller wasn't responding with the unit. And you're gonna say, well, why is it in that box? The thing is weatherproof, but you know, I didn't want to chance it. You know, I don't want this getting hit by the sun constantly, and also don't want it getting wet or moist or whatever. So like I said in the other GeoPro, I had this in the orange box. Now in hindsight, I probably should have gotten a box, a colored box, because now the sun's gonna hit it. But I mean, I guess it's neither here nor there right now. But I got this box. You know, I just made a 3/8 inch hole to make a space for the wire, and after that was run through, then I ran my terminal connections. I'm gonna eventually silicone that. I siliconed it in the GeoPro, and you know, it just serves to protect it a little more, because I mean, the thing is expensive. It's like 350 bucks. That's one downside to the auto brake, but I mean, I just think that the fact that it's more reliable than what the Curdeco has been stated to be is a plus. And also, I mean, if you just need a trailer brake in general and you have a 4-pin connector already in your car, then you know, you can run with that without having to wire for a 7-pin and just change kind of the electricity source for the auto brake, and then you'll still have brakes. You'll just need to turn on your lights on your tow vehicle. So once it's all, you know, once you have it installed on your A-frame, once this is installed on your A-frame, all you need to do is connect this end to the end coming out of the trailer, connect the male end to the U-Haul truck, and you'll have brakes. So that's pretty much it. If anybody has any questions, just post them in the comment section and I'll try to answer them as best I can. And all I have to say beyond that is, you know, don't go out and buy your travel trailer right now. Give me a chance to first get my own, and then once I drive it back with my little doohickey here, go ahead and try it on your own. But just wait on me, you know, don't take my deals. Thanks a lot. Bye.